Welcome, everyone, to the Den of Nerds, where we discuss nerdy things so that we can escape the harshness of reality. On today's show, we'll discuss Oscar Isaac refusing to return to Star Wars unless Disney stops working with fascists. We'll discuss Warner Brothers CEO having lunch with other companies despite the Trump administration using mafia-like tactics to force a sale to Paramount. And then finally, we'll discuss how Marvel scoopers are spreading a rumor about Doctor Doom being a girl for the sake of representation and culture war grifting. Yeah. It's gonna be a good one. I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll be okay. What a world. Unbelievable. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna get into it all, man. It's so fucking unfucking believable up in here. Anyway, how you guys doing? Warhammer pivot. Yeah, man, it's coming. How you guys doing? How's the weekend? How's everybody doing? Also, how's the stream? I hate to be the tech guy. Still trying to kind of sort all this out myself here. Everything sound good? Everything look good so far? So good, chat? Let me know. Zach says, happy Monday, Nerd Avengers. I just wanted to show some love. I'll watch after work. Much love, Josh. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Oh, no. Hang on. Slight technical issue. Hang on. Oh, no. Hang on, I'm trying to fix it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Is it really not glitching for you guys? Oh, my God. Oh, jeez, man. Okay, hang on. Is it working? Are we good? It was like, I don't know what's going on. So the truth is, I'm probably getting a new PC. I did buy another camera, which we can talk about because probably didn't need to buy it. It's actually Adam's fault. I want to be completely clear about this. This is actually Adam's fault, chat. Let me explain what happened. So actually, it's a little bit it's Adam's fault. So on Friday, somebody mentioned that the computer, or rather the camera, had a couple of like white dots on it. Okay. And Adam kind of said that he thought the camera was about to go and that the pixels were burning out. Okay. And at first I was like, nah, man, there's no way. Like, that's not what it actually is. Right. But then as I was like editing and whatnot, I actually did see kind of like the burnout pixels, and I was like, no, it's fucking impossible. Oh my God. I got irrationally upset. And I bought another 4K camera. Okay. Then, on Sunday, I flip on the camera, okay, and it says remapping pixels. Okay, you can't make this shit up. It says remapping pixels, okay? And I was like, okay, what's that about? You know what I mean? And so I tried it out, and it literally fixed it. It fixed the white dots. Dude. That's crazy. Like, I was like, that's fucking crazy. So apparently, I've got two 4K cameras now. And I guess the benefit is we could do the Warhammer painting streams in 4K. So now I can have like a 4K camera here and then this 4K camera there. But just so you know, if you're out there, if you see a white dot and it looks like your camera's burning out, there's this thing called pixel remapping. I didn't even know what it was, but it apparently can fix that issue. So there you go. Let's see here. Let's get into some of these chats here. Elijah says it's interesting that the Ellison's film studio development in Bayonne, New Jersey is right next to where the DoD awarded a $50 million defense contract to research drones at the Rockaway, New Jersey. New Jersey got studios and UFOs now, baby. Roll camera. Yeah, amen. You guys are killing it. Are you in Jersey? Are you in Jersey? Hey, Jersey, you're kind of killing it right now. Yeah, you had all the... wasn't it all those drones like last Christmas? Are they coming again? Are the drones coming again? Are we doing the drones again? Last Christmas, wasn't it the case that like a bunch of drones were coming out of that area? Wasn't that what happened? They were all like flying out of there and everybody was like, what the hell's going on with it? So yeah, dude, New Jersey's got it going on. Jersey's got some crazy shit going on. Yeah, it could be. Christmas decorations should be illegal. Josh should be locked up and throw away the key. You know what? Honestly, I'm just feeling it. I'm just feeling the holiday vibes. And also, like, the kids were going out. And so I gave, like, Elisa and the kids a little project to go find some good decorations. And so I'm kind of feeling it. Now, I know, normally I'm with you, man. I'm like, nah, before Thanksgiving, that shit's crazy. But, no, I wanted it, so I got it. Also, to chat, before we get into all of the nerdy news, again, we do have 3 big topics today, and I'm actually pretty excited to get into it. But can we actually, like, would it be too crazy? And you can let me know if it would be too crazy. But would it be too crazy to, like, actually talk about Range Rovers for just a little bit? Because, so, look, here's the thing. I'm not really a car guy, okay? But after everything that happened, and, you know, I got to thank Dash, man. He kind of put me on. I started looking into Range Rovers a little bit. Like, literally, I'm not a car guy, okay? So everything before this was a meme. It was a joke, okay? However, I started to look into these things. Here's the thing. They're really cool. They look really cool. I was like, damn, these are actually really cool. I get why people like them. However, as I was talking to people on the Discord about this, a bunch of people were like, dude, they're actually terrible cars. Okay, so here's the thing. Are they terrible cars? Like, I looked into it. Here's what kind of sucks. They do have some of the worst surveys, like, results ever. So here's, I guess... Like, what I know for sure is that people that buy them tend to be pretty upset. I know that for sure. But here's the thing I'm kind of wondering. Are the people that buy them just kind of like really snooty rich people that are like, oh, you know what I mean? And like the little thing goes wrong and they're all upset. Or is this legit? Like, are these legitimately not good cars? Because... dude, they look really cool. I was looking at some used ones. I was like, so apparently, like anything from 2023 up, you probably actually do want to stay away from, because they put some bad parts in there, which is so funny because a lot of these car companies did this, like internationally and just over the world. Which, by the way, you can look at the VIN number and find out where they made your car. And I'm not trying to be that guy, but like, you don't want a car made in Mexico. There's a couple of places you don't want your car made in certain places. Just facts. Like you're going to want a car made in Japan or in America or in England. At around 2015, a lot of manufacturers just in general started kind of using like shitty parts. There was some fuel injection things that happened. Because I was in the market for a car like a year ago and I was like looking into it. So yeah, dude, I thought I was like, okay, just for a meme, it would be kind of funny if I like went and got a range. But then I started like, I was like, dude, these are actually like kind of nice, man. No, I'm not hating on Mexico. I'm just telling you, like, this is just look into it yourself. You're gonna realize what it is. So, what do you think? Is it really that bad, or is it like, should I get a Range Rover? I asked my wife about it this morning, and I don't think she thought I was like, she thought I was playing, I think. Garbage car. Yes, is bad. Forerunner. You guys are crazy. 125K for an SUV might be much. Yeah, but like, don't buy a new one. Like, don't buy one that's like buy one that's like 40K, 50K or something, you know? Buy one that's after the warranty, because that's like what a lot of people just drop them after the warranty, you know? Sometimes you guys in chat are wild. Expensive to fix when things go wrong. That's fair. I mean, yeah, that's fair. I would imagine, yeah, like your parts are going to be very expensive, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're driving it light, like, so, because I would keep maybe a winter car, because I don't know. I mean, they're called Range Rovers, but like they're not like a fucking Jeep. It's not like they're really made to like off road. I would imagine they're decent in some weather, but dude, I live in the fucking north, dude. I live in the snow belt. So I wouldn't actually drive it in like snow. So if you don't drive it in snow, like if you keep it inside, because the salt roads are terrible for good cars. So I probably wouldn't drive it actually a lot during the winter months. So I don't know. I think it might be like, I legit think it would be cool. And the other thing is, I wouldn't even be rolling up in it a lot. I sit here and work, but my wife and my kids could roll around in the Range. Like, dude, wouldn't that be so fun? Like, imagine my kids, like, you know, flexing, coming out of a fucking Range Rover. That would be kind of nice. You know what I mean? If you get one, you will regret it, but you'll still do it anyway. Yeah. If Doom comes from a universe where he was married to Sue, maybe Reed becomes the maker in that universe. Whoa. I like where your head's at with that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's not bad. Get a G-Wagon? What the hell's that? Like, that's the thing. I don't even know cars. Like, maybe I'm being the dumbest person ever, and you guys can let me know if you think I'm being the dumbest person ever. But, like, the memes kind of, like, I don't know, it's just kind of funny, and then I was like, what the fuck even is a Range Rover? And I started looking at them, and I was like, yo, those are kind of nice, dude. I wouldn't mind rolling up in that, you know? A G-Wagon is the Jeep-looking Benz? Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen those things. Yeah. Yeah, those look pretty cool. Yeah, those things are cool. Josh asked what a G-Wagon is, and he's asking if she get a Range Rover. Dude, I am who I am. Like, I'll tell you guys, like, I don't really care about cars. I love money, for sure, but I'm actually not really a materialist. If you knew me, you would know I don't treat my things well because I don't really have a reverence for the actual thing, except my Warhammer stuff. I even that I probably don't treat it as well as other people. But what I am a fan of, and what I do believe in, is like just energy and flow and like just everything that's happened. Is like maybe I was supposed to go through this so that my kids would be in a Range Rover. Do you know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it. Probably don't want to buy a luxury brand then. No, but I think people that don't care, I actually think I'm the perfect person to buy luxury brands. I feel like people that buy luxury brands that like really care about it, that's weak sauce. Like, that's silly. I say get it and don't gaff. Like, isn't that the way to do it? Like, get it and then who gives a fuck? Yeah. But then again, maybe I'm the dumbest person ever. That's also on the table. I'm not going to rule that out. You know what I mean? You're going to do a lot of you're doing a lot of mental gymnastics, maybe. Maybe. Anyway, look, can I just say one last thing on this and we'll let it go. One last thing on this and we'll let it go. If you are a dealer that has a Range Rover and you actually think they're really good cars, hit me up, dude. Like, I'm not even kidding. Hit me up. We could do something. We could do content with it too. We can make a little piece of content from it. So, yeah, that's it. That is literally the worst attitude to Lux car ownership, but fuck me, I respect it. Oh shit, okay. You also wanted Shiba Inus. Ah, fuck. That's a good point. That's a good point. I know, Bianca. I know. But you said you didn't have a range, though. Also, you tried to talk me out of the range. Look, it's all cool. It's all good, Bianca. Dude, you're convincing me. Just get one. Don't rage about it to us, though. Oh, no, that will happen as well. Like, let me just be clear. If I get this and it breaks down, it is your fault. I will be mad. I will crash the fuck out. And I will blame you. I will blame Adam. Yeah, I'll blame Dash. At that point, I actually probably would get mad at Dash. Any coincidence with RDJ Doom and Valeria Morgan Stark? I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm open to it possibly happening, yeah. All cars break down? Is that true? Damn, dude. Damn. That's deep. That's deep. Maybe Doom is dead in 828 and Reed is dead in RDJ's Doom. I thought about this too. That's actually not a bad idea. So maybe it'll be one big emotional reunion for everyone, including Reed and Victor. And that's how Victor gets Reed on his side. Yeah, there's something there, dude. There's something there. You could be onto something there. We'll get into it, man. I got some thoughts. Obviously dropped a big video this morning on the main channel. If you haven't seen it, go over to the main channel at some point today. It's a great video. It's how the new leaks make a ton of the old leaks make more sense. You probably heard me talk a little bit about it here and there, but it's like a really nice condensed version of it. If you are curious, like, because I even had people today on Discord hitting me up and being like Kalen actually was in here and he was like, well, if he's from 838 or 828, and I'm like, dude, I don't think he is from 828 anymore. And I think the new leaks are so crazy. They change a lot. However, there's been so much noise and so many kind of rumors, leaks, speculation and stuff. People are like just not sure. So go watch the video from this morning. I think it does a great job of kind of like breaking it down and getting you in there. Ben, I'm so sorry, brother. I'll try to get the package tomorrow. Oh, by the way, guys, here's what I'm thinking for tomorrow. I'm kind of thinking an evening stream. I feel like we haven't done an evening stream publicly in a while, and I think that would be kind of cool. So maybe tomorrow night we do an evening stream. We can go over news, if there's news. Maybe we'll kick it. I have a couple of ideas of things that we could do. There was a 2-hour video put out by the channel called A Little Bit of Everything. I don't know if you guys remember this guy, but we did a reaction to some of his videos in the past. He's very good breaking down sort of the lore and stuff from Marvel, et cetera, et cetera. So he did a 2-hour video, okay? And here's the thing that's kind of wild about it. Michael Waldron reached out to this guy and confirmed that everything in his 2-hour video was right. So that's a 2-hour video, but I'm telling you, maybe tomorrow night, we grab a 6-pack, we get this thing rolling at like 7 or something, and we get into this video. And we watch his video. We break it down for our understanding because, look, I think it's, number one, it's cool to know for sure, like what is happening. But also, because we're trying to speculate on what happens with Doomsday, it would be good to know, like, the rules that have been established, especially because Waldron is a part of it as well. Like, Waldron is clearly a part of how they're cooking this all together, yeah. So I think that would be kind of fun, maybe tomorrow night. Just putting it out there. What do you think? Yeah, that could be cool. Atosuke, you could. Well, I'm surprised you're even here right now, brother. But I know you usually work during the day, so you could maybe make it tomorrow night. That'd be cool. That'd be fun. Fantastic Four watch party. We did that. We already did that. We did it a couple weeks back, man. A couple weeks back, we did that shit. Good. I have about 10 Mick Ultras someone left at my house that I need to drink. Every time my cousin comes to town for a UFC, he leaves a bunch of Mick Ultras too. I'm sipping on Mick Ultras for a week after my cousin's in town. It's crazy. PC might explode though. Yeah, well, I'm getting a new PC, man. I'm sick of this shit. I'm getting a new PC. I'm getting another 4K camera. Look, fuck it, let's get 3, and I'm getting a Range Rover. I don't give a fuck. I can't stand beer, but I can't let it go bad. Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah. Unity updates. Hopefully by what I'll say is this: before the end of the year, you're going to get the most substantial update that you've had in years. But I'm just not quite ready yet. Yeah, the bottleneck on Unity is like the changing of the creative guard. So we have a new creative team, and there's just a bottleneck with that. You know what I mean? That's pretty much everything that I can say about it. I will say this though. I have some really cool plans for Unity. If you've been in the Discord, you might know what I'm talking about, but I can't really say it publicly yet. And there's a lot that still needs to happen before I announce anything, but we're potentially going to be partnering up with some really cool people. So Unity is going to be great, but yeah, unfortunately, obviously, we've been very delayed. So Unity has a neck. I don't know what that means, but yeah, 2 PCs, 4K cameras, Range Rover, 2 dogs, 2 kids, 6 beers. And a partridge in a pear tree, brother. Those RPK fake leaks sounded like dog shit. I only want one Doom, says Connor. Damn. Okay. Yeah, we'll get into that, man. We'll talk about it. That's actually third on the list. We got to talk about Oscar Isaac and the fascists. We got to talk about the mafioso Warner Brothers Paramount deal, and then we got to talk. And then we'll talk about the Doomsday shit. So, just got out of therapy. I guess I made it on time. Well, good for you, brother. Hope it was a good session. Oh, yeah. Okay, are you guys ready? Should we get into it? Should we discuss Sir Oscar Isaac? I think, yeah, this one should be interesting. Did you guys see what he said? I guess we'll start there. I'll go over it all. I'll give you my take. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. Just like crazy, dude. You know, like this is what nerdy. Because for the longest, I tried to not get political. I try not to wade into the culture war and all that sort of stuff. Really, I would rather not. And this is what it has become. This is what we got going on now. Correct me if I'm wrong here, chat. This was what was this on the Jimmy Kimmel show? Was he? Because I've heard a lot of people talking about this with reference to the Jimmy Kimmel show. Was this literally during Kimmel? It was like on the show that he said this, so it's implied that it's about the Kimmel situation in the past. Pretty sure that's what it is, yeah? So here's what he said. He was asked about coming back to Star Wars. And he said, Oscar Isaac says he's not so open to working with Disney at this time. If they can kind of figure it out and, not succumb to fascism, that would be great. Okay, so apparently it was not on the Kimmel show. This was in a GQ magazine. People are letting me know. It was in a GQ interview. He's referencing the Jimmy Kimmel thing, or at least it seems like he's referencing the Jimmy Kimmel thing right there. Okay, so this happened, and look, a bunch of you guys were talking to me about this on the Discord. A lot of people bringing it up, and a lot of people are like upset about it, right? And I don't know, man. I feel like in some ways we're just going through the motions on this fucking thing here. I think if conservatives are still really sensitive about people calling them fascists and shit, like right now, I don't know, man. I just feel like that's weird. Sure, it's not accurate and potentially dangerous rhetoric. However, like, come on, man. Like, it's what year? This is not the first time this has happened. And I also would also say that clearly what's going on right now in this fucking country is not completely on the up and up. And I think a lot of people are very frustrated with a lot of things that are going on. And I do think the administration, as we're about to talk about with the Warner Brothers deal, I do think the administration is like stepping in it a bit certainly doing some things that feel authoritarian. Is that crazy? I don't think that's crazy. Should Oscar Isaac be saying shit like this? I don't even fucking know, dude. Like, on the one hand, I would say, like, obviously this is just going to ruffle feathers. And the truth is, like, you're just talking into a divided crowd. People are going to take it their own way. People are going to get butthurt about it, this, that, second, and the third, right? And so, sure, like, I bet his agent's not fucking pumped. I bet his manager's not pumped. I bet, like, a lot of people that are associated with him are not pumped because, sure, it's like, it's not a good look. And you look at the comments made by, oh, man, what's the gal's name? She recently said some stuff about, like, should I even talk about the president? Jennifer Lawrence. That's a wild one because I think unless I'm crazy, chat, which I am crazy, but just check me on this part. I'm pretty sure Jennifer Lawrence literally blamed a hurricane on Trump before. I'm pretty sure I saw that PewDiePie video. And so for her to, like, go full circle to the point where she's making nuanced political takes, right, is pretty wild. We live at a time where I think Hollywood is in trouble and in decline. I think entertainment is changing. I think there's obviously a lot of consternation within the populace, within what I guess you would call your customer base. But I mean, I just don't know. I mean, dude, first of all, I would say, fuck Disney, dude. It's like, am I going to sit here and defend Disney? Like, no, I'm not going to defend Disney. And in some ways, like, you guys were talking to me about this on the Discord, and you know what I said? And I'm sorry, like, this is how I feel. I think Disney's a whore, and a cheap whore at that. The truth is, Disney fucked around town. They fucked all over town. And now there's consequences. They play both sides. They tried to virtue signal. They've done kowtowing here, capitulation here. They're a whore. You can't respect a whore. So I mean, I don't know what am I supposed to do with this story? I don't even like the sequels. So what the fuck do I care if Oscar Isaac comes back? Sure, probably crazy to say that Disney's supporting fascism or whatever. At the same time, shit's crazy. Fuck Disney. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's pretty. What else is there to say? I don't know. I mean, everybody wants me to make some big moral judgment here or condemn this, that, second, and the third. I don't care, man. You know what I mean? I think Oscar Isaac's cool. I don't care that he thinks Disney was. I mean, he could literally come out and say Trump's a fascist. I really don't care. So that's the hot fucking take. I will die on this fucking fence. Chat. So that's how I feel about it. I guess thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. I mean, is there something I'm missing here? Is there another side to this thing? I don't know what to say. It's obviously something that, like, a lot of people are mad about because they're bringing it up. Like, a lot. So, yeah, that's my take. Just recast Moon Knight? Why would you need to recast Moon Knight? I think the right thing to do in this situation is ban Tom. Oh, hell yeah, ban Tom for sure. I'm always about banning Tom. Don't talk about politics and just be chill. Yeah, but at the same time, like, there's, like, okay. So I don't want to, like, I really don't want to, like, make it about, like, the real world. However, you say don't talk politics. Wouldn't there be a moment where you would say you should talk about politics? Like, don't talk about politics. To what end? Like, if the country was actually facing a dictator, don't you think people should stand up and say something about it? So it's like, don't talk about politics unless it's actually real and the world's fucking ending. Well, don't you realize that to certain people, that's how they feel? That's why they're saying it. Maybe they're sensitive. Maybe they're emotional. Maybe they're not seeing the same things that you are. Or maybe they are right. I don't know. I just think it's like, I'm so over it, dude. Like, it's such a... Such a stupid circle jerk, man. I hate this stupid shit. I hate this stupid shit. Like, what if we all came together, the right and the left, we held hands and said, I don't really give a fuck what Oscar Isaac says about anything. It would be cool if the Star Wars movies were better. That'd be cool. How about that Ben Solo movie? That'd be cool. Would have been cool if Moon Knight was better. Fair. Moon Knight was not good, dude. Moon Knight was not a good show. I don't think. It's going to get super toxic in here if you allow politics. No politics for the love of all things nerdy. Yeah, you're right. How about them Bears? I actually don't know how the Bears did, but that Steelers game was super fucking depressing. That was one of the most depressing Steelers games. Oh my God, dude. It is tough to be a Steelers fan right now. This shit is crazy. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think the story's gonna get blown up. People are gonna talk about it or whatever. I just don't care, dude. I just really don't care. Yeah. Try to be a Jaguars fan. I don't know, dude. Try to be a Steelers fan over the last long time, man. Somehow fascism has returned, Oscar Isaac. Yeah. Yeah. You know what's funny is, so we were doing a deep dive, I think it was last year, about Star Wars, and we were listening to a lecture given by this guy that wrote a novel on like the creation of Star Wars and stuff like that. And he was talking about the logo. And so if you didn't know this, there was this gal that made the actual Star Wars logo, like the one that we all know and love. And she did not get paid a lot of money to do that, by the way. But one of the things that was funny this guy uncovered was she sent a copy of the logo to George Lucas, and he literally sent her notes back and said, you need to make this look more fascist. His words, you know, which is kind of wild. But, yeah. Okay, that's enough of all that. Let's talk about the next completely non-political thing. Let's talk about DC and Warner Brothers. So the most recent reports on this, guys, we're just kind of like checking in with this stuff, right? The most recent reports is Zaslav is out there taking meetings with Comcast. That was a big thing. Let me see if I can kind of pull up some of the info on this. The reporting, and I saw like a lot of these different reports, a lot of outlets kind of speak to this. He's taking meetings with Comcast, and Comcast feels as though they can actually make a play on this thing. But I really believe, guys, like I really just believe that it's all a fugazi. I don't think Comcast is going to get this thing. Every single article that talked about this mentioned the Trump administration's relationship to Larry Ellison and to the Ellison family. And how that deal was going to get a favorable thing through the Trump administration. I think at this point, you just got to call it for what it is. Zaslav is desperately trying to get that stock price up, which is wild because Warner Brothers just turned in third quarter losses for the fiscal year. We will get, hey, let's talk about the Superman thing. Chat. The Superman thing has something to do with this. So we'll talk about the Superman thing, okay? Warner Bros. Reports third quarter losses, despite Superman, bolstering them theatrically over last year. Can somebody pull up that Forbes article that everybody's freaking out about where they said it actually made money? So let me just tell you, let's take a sidebar here and explain the Superman thing because like a bunch of people are super confused about this thing, man. It's crazy. So, Forbes had originally reported, this was a couple of weeks ago, I did a clip called Forbes Tells on James Gunn, something like that. And the whole idea with the clip was Forbes had an article where they basically indicated that Superman did not make money in theaters from ticket sales. Okay? That's what it is. They didn't make money from ticket sales in its theatrical run. Okay? And then I think over the weekend, maybe late last week, I'd have to double check. And I'm hoping to find, let me see if I can pull up this article actually, because it's important to go over the actual article. I think I know what's going on, but I've been wrong before, okay? So what my impression of this is, and this is, I said this to people in Discord yesterday, my impression is that this. Oh, let me pull this up for you. This is actually it right here. This is actually it right here. Variety says Superman made $125 million in profit from theaters alone. Forbes says it made 150 after taking into account merchandising, home video, and streaming, which means it lost money post-theatrically, potentially. I say both are lying for the studio and certain executives. I think this is like kind of what it is. It's not exactly what it is, but let me explain, okay? Let's do the timing of this. So Variety first comes out, and this was pretty early on in the theatrical run. It's probably like just a week or two after it ended its theatrical run. And Variety says it made $125 million profit in theaters. Do you guys remember that, by the way? Chat, do you remember that? We went over all this, but, you know, some people aren't on all the streams, et cetera, so I get it. But do you remember that? Variety said 125. So the next thing that happened was Forbes came out and said it didn't make money off of ticket sales theatrically. But in that very article, they'd mention all the ancillary stuff and all the things that it probably made money for, okay? But I guess what happened was a lot of like independent journalists or like, you know, Twitter accounts and randos on YouTube or whatever, a lot of people ran with the idea that Superman was a bomb, that it didn't make any money. Okay, which again, I've like never said that. Oh my God, I know nuance is so hard on the fucking internet. But holy shit. Let me explain what's happening. So, all of these things are true. All of these things are true. What first happened was Variety reported favorably to the movie in the studio that it made $125 million in profit. Then what happened was Forbes reported unfavorably to the studio that it didn't make money from its ticket sales theatrically. Then Forbes, probably because of studio fucking pressure and also because of this whole fucking sale, because stakes are high, Forbes gets hit up by somebody and all of a sudden they correct the record by saying that the movie likely made over $100 million in profit, $150 million in profit. But what nobody's understanding is that's not from ticket sales. It's from ancillary shit. So it's like the same story. It's been the same fucking story since for... It's been the same story. You know what the story of Superman is? Let me TLDR the fucking Superman story for you. The TLDR on Superman is the movie is so middle of the road in its performance that you can write any headline you want about it. That's why nobody knows what the fuck is going on. It's such a middle of the road thing that needs accounting wizardry to come up with a profit that you can write any headline you want about it. And guess what? When a fucking sale is happening, I'm getting pissed. When a sale is happening for a big company like this that has a lot of valuable IP, it behooves multiple parties to spread a narrative that it's either doing really well or it's doing really poorly. Don't we understand what's going on? Like, don't we get it? Haven't we seen this movie before? So, look, again, this thing that happened that everybody got all butthurt about, everybody's like complaining about it, going back and forth on it. Guys, it's been the same story. It's been the same story the whole time. Superman didn't smash it out of the park. It was not so much of a hit that everything bad that people are saying about DC is false. But at the same time, it didn't do so poorly that all of the things that you're hearing about how it was a success in some ways for the studio, that's not all false either. Come on, chat. Come on now. We can kind of get it, right? Hey, while we're on this topic, let's talk about Predator Badlands for a little bit, okay? Because once again, Disney finds itself in the crosshairs of the culture war. This is crazy. So let's talk a little bit about Predator Badlands, then we'll talk Doctor Doom. Then we're going to get out of here, okay? Because my hair is driving me nuts. Okay. Chat. Did you guys see Predator Badlands this weekend? Anybody see Predator Badlands this weekend? Throw some love into the chat. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see Predator Badlands? I didn't see it. I was gonna go like either Thursday or Friday. I had a stay-home work weekend while the wifey and the kids went to grandma's, so I was kind of like preoccupied. I was working on a lot of stuff, but I didn't get to go see it. But I want to see it. I want to see it. What? Morpho not saw it twice. Goddamn. Okay, a lot of people liked it. You know what? Let's go to the polls. Let's go to the polls. I'm pretty interested in this. Okay. Chat, do you think that you're going to like what I have to say about Predator Badlands, or do you think you're going to hate it? Let's find out. W Disney. Ooh, okay, we got a W Disney, maybe. I'm very curious as to how you guys felt about the quality of the film. So if you saw it, vote in the poll. Okay. So here's the thing. Predator Badlands. It certainly caught the attention, the ire of a lot of like anti-woke channels, or, you know, I guess like right-wing channels. Well, I don't know. I don't even know. It became a culture war thing, and a lot of people said that the movie was a girl boss movie, and a lot of people said it was like your regularly scheduled Disney crap, which, by the way, like, it's such a difficult thing to discuss because there are still people that don't feel that Disney actually tried to push a lot of their content into a more female appealing direction. And it's like very hard to have a conversation with people when they can't even admit that. That's like the basics. Like, I think you just have to like just face the facts that like that shit happened. And if you can't face those facts, it's very difficult to have a conversation from there. Okay. And what I'll say is like, for me, I think Disney has clearly earned the reputation that they have. They have earned that reputation. And it's like, I think there's a lot of people that are mad at, you know, the YouTubers or the content creators or whatever that are pushing this narrative around Predator Badlands being woke or whatever. But can we acknowledge that Disney is a huge part of why that narrative has persisted, right? And again, I know. Your results may vary, mileage may vary on that shit. But like, that's what it is. Like, that's really what it is Disney kind of earned this rep over time. And you look at Disney overall and they're having a bad time of it. I do think Avatar is going to do well for them. I think Zootopia 2 is going to do well. I heard some crazy shit that Zootopia 2 is tracking to be one of the biggest movies in China, like, ever. And I was like, what the fuck? Why do they like Zootopia so much? Anyways, why is woke? Great question. So, like, I just think if you're being fair, like, Disney has to come to terms with the fact that they made a bed and they're sleeping in it. So, yes, there are narrative pushers. Yes, there are grifters. Yes, there are people that are going to make content about this stuff and maybe push narratives or angle it in a certain way. You know, there's all sorts of ways that you could sort of explain that behavior. But, like, what the fuck is Disney going to do about it? Just keep making weird shit that feels a little bit too close to what they're actually being accused of, right? So I think the reality is this. Look, I haven't seen the movie, okay? So I cannot speak to its quality. I cannot speak to whether it's actually woke or not. I cannot speak to if it's woke and also amazing or if that's bullshit. I can't speak to any of that. But I tell you what I can speak to is the fact that this movie opened to $40 million domestic, and the Demon Slayer animated movie opened to 70 million in its North American weekend. So I got to tell you this. This is what I think. I think this is pretty much the only thing you need to look at to understand whether or not this movie was a success. Like, genuinely. I think that's all you need to look at, okay? And so, like, there's a lot of people that are trying to say that Predator Badlands was a big hit. And I think there's a lot of people that are trying to say that, like, you know, it's the biggest take ever for the franchise. You know, they're trying to, like, kind of compare it to the old Predator movies. And they're trying to project a positive trajectory for Badlands. Well, let me just ask you this, chat. Like, what do you think the drop off for this movie is going to be? Because, like, let's just start there. Like, what do you think the drop off for Predator Badlands is going to be? Like, legitimately. If it opened to 80 worldwide, because it did 40 overseas and it did 40 domestic, and I'm pretty sure that's probably all the markets. Like, maybe there's a couple of more markets for it to open to. I am going to tell you that I think this is sort of an L for Disney. That's what I believe. I believe it's an L for Disney. And I also believe that if what a lot of people are saying about the movie is true, which, like, let's look at the stats here. This is crazy. So 34% of the people that saw it loved it. 32% of the people really liked it. And then 25 in meh, 10% in hated it. That's pretty good. It's like 70-30. Is it possible, chat? So Morphodot says it's getting awesome word of mouth. It'll do good for a bit without a drop off. Do you really think it's getting awesome word of mouth? Do you really think it's getting awesome word of mouth? Or do you think that, like, because I got to be honest with you, for every person that's told me the movie is awesome, I've seen other people say it sucks. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I cannot tell you if it's good. I'm just putting my pundit hat on and I'm just looking out and reading the terrain. I'm just telling you guys. I'm just telling you from where I'm standing right now, this looks like a fucking L, dude. This looks like an L. And I guess here's what I would ask you. Josh buys 100%. I got to buy. Hey, look, hey, maybe I'm wrong here, chat. Maybe it'll have a crazy hold. Maybe it'll have crazy legs. Maybe it'll be incredibly successful. And then I'll come out here and be like, damn. But I don't think so. I don't think so. And so let me ask you this question. If this movie is amazing, action-packed, best in the franchise, so awesome. If this movie is titties, how do you explain it not doing as well as Demon Slayer? And how are you going to explain it losing money? Josh wants every movie to do a trillion. No, I don't want every movie to do a trillion. I want the movies that are supposed to be big hits to be big hits. And if they're not, there's something going on. Like, I don't think we're addressing the problems. Like, let me just explain something to you. If this is like a sort of symptom of like what Disney has done, then their brand is snake bitten. Meaning if they cannot produce like, human behavior is really interesting because, you know, in sociology, right, if a person believes something to be true, then it is true insofar as how the person exists in the world, right? So there's a ton of people out there that are living in the world, living in the reality that Disney sucks. They put out slop. They put a bunch of woke shit out. You know, they girl boss it up. Disney sucks. And what the fuck is Disney doing to change that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at with it. Like, I just don't, like, this Predator thing is so weird to me. A little bit it's weird because all the people that are that were shitting on it and wanting it to fail, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe Prey has something to do with this. Maybe it's some of those people that like got a little burnt on the Prey thing. Because remember, a lot of people, a lot of these, you know, usual suspects talked a lot of shit on Prey, and then Prey was incredibly successful and very good. Prey is awesome. I think Prey is maybe the best Predator movie. I love that movie, right? So maybe that's where some of that energy comes from. But this like sort of backlash energy from all these people that want to say it's like doing well, or it's awesome and incredible and stuff. Guys, I think we're in a very similar boat that we've been in a lot of these other situations. And then like think about Marvel. Think about Marvel. Marvel put out some of its best movies in years this year. Not a single one of them made profit off of their ticket sales. So like, what do we think's going on here? You know? I don't think this is a win for Disney. That's just what I think's going on, man. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, I don't know. What are your thoughts, chat? You think I'm crazy? You think it's the bestest movie of all time? Big W? Now, The Prey, it's a win for the Predator IP. That could be true. That could be true. But I tell you what would be a bigger win for the Predator IP? Get bought by, like, some other company. Literally get sold to something other than Disney. That would be a bigger win. But, yeah, no, I mean, I think that I could see that argument. Can I just say this, though? I'm starting to feel, and, like, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I'm almost starting to feel that, like, the big studios are going to start picking smaller IP so that they can spin the numbers to, like, make it seem like there's a positive trajectory. Like, because Predator is a franchise that has really never performed well, really. You know? And I almost feel like there's starting to be this thing where maybe what's attractive to some of these studios is franchises that have an appeal, but have actually never commercially popped off. So that then they can kind of get some semblance of success and sort of spin it into a story about a positive trajectory. I mean, look, I could be wrong here, but like I think underlying a lot of what I'm saying here is like I think Hollywood is kind of fucked. And I don't think they've addressed the problems. Like, I just don't think they've addressed the problems. And if you might not agree with the problems, but there's a lot of people that do, and they are actually taking action or refusing to take action because of these problems. And if Disney doesn't figure that out, they're fucked. That's all. That's all that is. That's all that it is. And also, too, let me just tell you, I'll tell you this is the most honest, this will be the one that you guys get really mad at me for, but it's actually true. I'll be completely honest with you guys. A lot of the chatter about this movie made me wait for streaming. Hey, dude, and you guys know I'm a pretty reasonable guy. Well, that's up for debate, but I don't consider myself to be a person that like would not watch anything even remotely progressive or anything like that. Like I love a lot of like woke shit, but even me, I was like, I think I could wait. So if it's affecting people like me, it's got to be affecting a lot of people. I talk a lot about like the silent majority because I think there's a lot of people that are like even maybe left leaning, but they're just fucking over it. Like they're just so like I'll tell you this, dude. If I see fucking Kamala Khan Doctor Doom, yeah. So there's things going on. People are getting upset about stuff. Customers have sensibilities. What are the studios doing about it? I don't know. So there you go. Now that I've pissed off everybody, what do you guys think? What do you think? Come on, chat. What do you think, huh? Let's see here. Is he... Whoa. Hang on, I missed it. Comparing the most popular anime since DBZ to a Predator movie, just compare Predator to Predator. No. No. Aubrey says, if Kill Bill came out this year, it'd flop. These are such weird statements. I mean, thanks for the 10, but I don't understand what that means, dude. Is it that bad to just see a cool female variant? They won't have a role anyways. 4 years ago? No. 3 years ago? 2 years ago? Oh, don't worry. We're going to talk about female Doctor Doom. Oh, we're going to talk about female Doctor Doom. Oh, we're going to talk about it. Oh, don't worry. He made me roll my eyes. I'm sorry. I'm not even furious. Oh. Okay. I plan to watch Predator Badlands. I just don't plan on paying for it. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. It doesn't matter. What doesn't matter? Sylvie should be female Doctor Doom. Eddie? Hey, Eddie, by the way, good to see you. What are you going to do now that New World's going away? Wasn't that like your whole... You loved that game, yeah? What are you going to do? Where are you going now? The other side is also grabbing up this movie for their stuff. Was there not an article calling it queer movie? When, correct me if I'm wrong, there wasn't any of that stuff in the movie. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I don't remember seeing that article, but I would imagine, yeah, probably something like that happened, yeah. Yes. Find something new. All right. Well, sorry about that, man. Just got here. I've heard a couple of cool things about Predator Badlands. We plan on all going to see it either tonight. That's cool, man. That's cool. I just am trying to be honest with where I'm at, and I think a lot of people are in the same spot. I mean, I think Disney is like way more cooked than they're willing to admit because, like, again, I'm just like really over being nice about it. I'm not necessarily trying to be rude, but I'm also like, I'm not going to dance around it anymore. Like, dude, I can wait for Disney Plus or Hulu for like a Predator movie that a lot of people are saying is like weird and potentially girl bossy. And it's like, look, that's what it is. That's what it is. Do you ever consider that maybe a lot of actors will be playing variants of other characters? Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of variant stuff going on. Should we just get into the Doom stuff? Who gives a damn if you think Predator looks good? See the movie, brother. I care. That's what I'm describing to you. Is I care. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. Is like, you guys have this belief that like everybody that believes that is on this side or in this bucket. And it's like, oh my god, it's the worst thing ever. No, motherfucker. I feel that way. I'm over it. I'm over it. Me. I'm literally trying to tell you, it's not what it's not what you think it is. Bunch of reasonable people are done. And kind of pissed about it. So that's all I'm trying to say, is just establish that this is not a bunch of enemy bad think, wrong think motherfuckers out there. No, this is the market. This is the market deciding. Brother, Demon Slayer opened to $30 million more in North America. Okay, anyway. Let's talk Doctor Doom. Speaking of ladies. Let's talk about Doctor Doom. Okay, this one's crazy. I'm just gonna fucking yap about it. I'm just gonna explain to you what happened. I'm gonna explain my take. I'm gonna tell you some crazy shit I was told. But let's get into this Doctor Doom stuff. So, Daniel RPK, I believe the scoop was released yesterday, late in the evening, perhaps. The scoop from Daniel RPK. Maybe I should just pull it up so that we can see what it is here. This scoop from oh man, the scoop. Here we go. Let's get this pulled up so we can all look at this. Okay, here we go. Avengers Doomsday will reportedly feature multiple Doctor Dooms, including female variants. What? Okay. So, this is a report from Daniel RPK. He came out to clarify, and he said it's not variants, or he never said it was variants, or whatever, right? But here's the thing. That's the report, okay? Now, interestingly, Nerderotic Gary came out and said that Predator Badlands was woke, but he also said that this was not true, which is good. And Gary, of course, does have good sources. If I'm being honest with you, Gary has gotten stuff wrong just in the short amount of time that I've been sort of following him. He has gotten stuff wrong. That's not unusual. Nobody's perfect, but he's got a lot of stuff right too. So I've been sort of surprised at how accurate Gary's sources seem to be. I think he obviously talks to some people that work at Marvel, okay? So Gary from Nerderotic came out and said that this was not true at all, I believe is what he said. Let me see if I can find exactly what he said here. because I had that reaction. Here's what Gary said. Not true at all. From Gary. Now, this is kind of interesting because this isn't the first time in the last couple of weeks that Gary has come forward to debunk something being reported by the usual suspect scoopers, which I find really interesting. I'm not really sure why. I'm not even sure why he cares. Here's what I guess I'm trying to say. I see no reason that Gary would say this unless he was just literally hearing this from a source. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why he would lie about this. It doesn't make any sense to lie about this. And in fact, I almost think it makes more sense if he were to lie the other way and confirm it, if anything, right? I'm just thinking in terms of game theory. I don't know, Gary. I did reach out to him, by the way. Gary Nerderotic, I reached out to you. Check your DMs. I'd love to talk. So I don't know. I don't fully understand why Gary's even been involved in talking about this sort of stuff, but this is not the first time recently that he's come out and sort of spoken against what the conventional scoopers are saying. The last time he did this was about Captain Marvel and She-Hulk. Okay, so let me just tell you what this is. So according to Gary, there's no Brie Larson or She-Hulk in Avengers Doomsday. Okay, and I remember I brought that up when it happened. I was like, yo, this is crazy. This would seem to me to be unconventional. This seems shocking. This seems unlikely. Just given how much has been invested in these characters and how we know Marvel loves these characters, I would legit be surprised if there was no She-Hulk and no Captain Marvel in Doomsday. So I remember when we talked about that, I was like, dude, I don't know. I want to believe him. I want to believe him. Nathan, welcome to the Nerd Ventures, buddy. You are a Nerd Venture now. But I just don't know that I can believe him. I don't want to get my hopes up and then all of a sudden, Captain Marvel's in the movie and then I'm freaking the fuck out. Okay, so it's interesting that Gary's been out here sort of stepping in it a little bit, kind of reporting some scoops and speaking against what the other scoopers will say. Now, here's the thing. Again, I just got to tell you the truth. At least as far as I understand it, you can make up your own mind how you feel about it. We literally just talked about the other day that Daniel RPK had initially reported that the plan for the MCU X-Men reboot was for it to be female-centric. His words. And I was told almost immediately that that was bullshit. And I've come to believe that Daniel reported that specifically to try to stir things up. And he lensed information that he had in a certain way in order to cause a bunch of drama, to get a bunch of engagement, to have more notoriety, to eventually get more Patreon subscribers or whatever. Okay? So we've talked about that as well. And I think that is true. I think Daniel is a shyster. I think Daniel lies. I think Daniel hides the truth. And I also think Daniel is a huge liberal woke person. The most liberal. You know how I know Daniel's super woke? Daniel said one time that he thought Naruto should be played by an Asian person, despite the actual mangaka saying he was based off an American and he should be an American in the anime. That's the kind of crazy that we deal with on the internet. People that have no fucking idea what they're talking about. Okay? And I strongly feel that that is the kind of person that Daniel is. Okay? So what is going on here? What's the truth? I don't know, but let me tell you the next part that's really fucking weird, because I got told even more shit about this. Okay? So I was told that it's true that there are 3 female Doctor Dooms. Okay? Okay, and this, hey, Marvel person out there or whoever, if this is real, please hit me up and explain this to me. Or Gary, if you know that this is real also, please hit me up so that you can explain this. I was told 3 female Doctor Dooms, all of them with gold masks. Okay? One would be dressed in gold, one would be dressed in green, and one would be dressed in purple. Okay? By the way, there's probably somebody at Disney literally freaking the fuck out as I'm explaining this. But that's okay. There is also a male version of Doom among them that has the gold Doom mask, but has the mouth part removed. Okay? And I think among them, there is also a variant of Doom that has horns. Okay. So let me tell you what I think is going on. A lot of people in chat are kind of onto it. I think it could be the Black Swans. But what it really is probably is it's probably a combination, because Marvel likes to do this kind of stuff. It's probably a combination of the Doom bots and the Avengers Forever run with the Doom variants and Black Swan. Okay? That's what I think is going on. So, because remember, Daniel came out today after some pressure and and I think he deserves the pressure. Like, dude, Daniel is like, I don't really like Daniel. You know what I mean? I think he deserves a little heat. So, what I think is going on, because Daniel came out to say, oh, I didn't say there were variants. You know what I mean? And I think that it's probably obvious to him that they're not variants. It's probably the case that they all look like Doctor Dooms. They could indeed be Doom variants, because here's the other thing, right? In the Avengers Forever run, and we just talked about this on Friday, I'm cooking more videos, I'm cooking more content on this too. It is the case that in Avengers Forever, there was a variant of Doctor Doom that was the most evil variant, the strongest, the most powerful. I forget what they called him, maybe like Prime Doom or some shit. He was the most badass Doom, okay? And this was a Doctor Doom that had sacrificed his own love, Valyria, ripped her skin off of her body to create his armor so that he would become the most powerful Doom that there ever was. And what's interesting is he has a Doctor Doom sort of Death Star, because there was a variant of Doctor Doom that was Ego, the Living Planet, out in the multiverse, and that becomes his Death Star, okay? And on top of that, Doom in that run is finding other Doctor Doom variants, bringing them to his Death Star, telling them his story, and then forcing them to cut out their own tongues. Like, it's sort of implied that the only Doom that could get a Doom to submit would be this Doom. And so he was literally having him come, like, dude, it was some cold ass shit where he'd bring him in and he'd be like, you're a Doom, I'm a Doom. But here's how we're different. Here's why you're about to cut your own tongue out. And they'd be like, what? And then he'd be like, yeah. And then he'd tell them the story, and then they'd be like, and cut their own tongue out. Okay? Cold, bro. Fucking crazy. Love that book. Anyway, is it the case, is it possible that what we're about to see and what we're going to see with these Dooms, because like that sounds like the three Fates to me, if I'm being honest, right? Like three female Dooms with gold masks. That's a play off of like the Fates from Greek mythology. I don't think they're Doom. That's probably, Gary probably knows they're not Doom. That's why he said they're not Doom. But it is kind of weird, right? By the way, this person could be full of shit. This person could be lying to me. So let's just be real. I'm saying this because I want other people to hear it and then hit me up and confirm or deny. Like, frankly. So that's what's going on. I'm leaning towards the end of the film, because here's the other thing that we got to keep in mind here. We were told by Majestic, who I think is actually pretty good. We were told by Majestic that at the end of Doomsday, there's going to be this big fight on the Void. And you're going to have Doom and a bunch of Doom bots facing off against the multiversal Avengers, right? That's pretty wild. That is pretty freaking wild. Well, I wonder if that is connected to this. I wonder if some of the Doom variants here are not traditional Doom, but these gold mask Doom. Is it a Rabama Lal thing where they're connected to the Black Swans? That could, of course, be possible as well. But I tell you what I don't think it is, guys. Tell you what I don't think it is. I don't think we're getting a bunch of female Doctor Dooms in this movie. Like, dead ass. I don't think that's happening. So, That's the report. That's everything I know about it. I have reached out to some other people. I'm trying to get some confirmation on some things. I will let you guys know in a video or maybe on stream tomorrow if I learn more about it. But that's kind of like where we're currently at with this. This shit is crazy. What do you guys think? Chat, what do you think? Didn't they do the 3 Fates thing already with the Timekeepers? A little bit, but maybe it's Doom's Timekeepers. When Doom sought immense magical power through the pact with the nether demons known as the Hazard 3, the sacrifice required was something he could never replace, the woman he loved, Valyria. Wow. Okay, so maybe that's what it is. Bro. The nether demons known as the Hazard 3. Is that a thing? Let's look this up. If they have gold masks, it's over. No, they just look at some demons. So these are the demons that gave him that power. That's interesting. Okay. You know what else I kind of was thinking about too? There is a character known as T'Challa. She's a fictional character in the Mangaverse. She's a fictional African who's the younger sister of T'Challa. She becomes the apprentice and successor of Doctor Doom. That was in the Mangaverse, published in 2022. So I was doing a lot. After I heard this last night, I was looking at a lot of different things, trying to figure it out. What if they're Wanda, Sylvie, and Agatha variants that Doom bestowed power? Dude, that would be kind of badass. I like that. So purple, gold, and green. Wanda, Sylvie, and Agatha. Well, who's the gold? Does any of the female Dooms have a hole in their mask? I'm not sure. Have you heard about this Peggy Carter Captain Universe theory? Yeah. Yeah. What if they are the Hazardous 3, but they became Doom's girlfriends and steal his clothes? I mean, that'd be kind of lit, dude. I gotta be honest with you. At first, I thought maybe he had a harem. And I'd be like, that's kind of cool. It's Doom's harem? I don't know. I'm sorry. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. Do you really think they'll release a trailer that overshadows Avatar 3? I think it is possible. I mean, they're going to release that trailer. Whether it overshadows the movie is kind of like up to the movie. Josh, please explain to the morons that Cillian Murphy isn't the main Doom. Yeah, I don't think he's the main Doom either, but I will say this. There were some reports that might make more sense within this context. Is it possible Cillian Murphy is the Doom of 828 or something? Like, there's ways that this could go. Brolin is King Thanos, is killed as Thanos. Yeah, so Josh Brolin, huh? Brolin came out and said some crazy shit. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. Did you see this? Brolin said some... Brolin's just out here, dude. Check this out. This is pretty wild. Josh Brolin teases potential Thanos return to the MCU. If Joe Russo comes to me, which he may have... Why add that? I don't know. And has an idea, then I might acquiesce. Okay, bud. Can you imagine? If Joe Russo comes to me, which he may have, I don't know, and has an idea, then I might acquiesce. Yeah, notice how he said Joe and not the brothers. I know, dude. That is kind of a thing too. Dude, what is going on with Anthony? Anyway. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. I think the King Thanos stuff is probably true. I think the King Thanos stuff is probably true. What if the variants are smoking hot with big old anime melons, though? LOL, love y'all nerds. # unity. Look, man, I love big melons, okay? And I love anime chicks with big melons. I mean, goddamn, that's a good combo. But you're talking about Doctor Doom. Okay, you're talking about Doctor Doom. All right, so, son, just don't. Loki horns. Yeah, or Asgardian horns. Or just full-on demon. Mm-hmm. Power, Wanda. Soul, love. Time, Loki. Mind, Century. Space, America Chavez. Reality, Franklin. What if Franklin is power, because it's power cosmic? Wanda switch over to reality because it's red and it's the reality stone. You might be onto something there. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. I'll be fair and just say female versions do exist in the multiverse. Kind of hot. So let me just tell you something else that's kind of crazy about Doctor Doom. Let me pull this up for you, okay? Because look, I'm going to deep dive on this. This is just I'm just trying to inform you guys best I can right now about like what happened. Okay? But let me say this. So in comics, okay, one of the things that's kind of wild about Doom is during time runs out and getting into Secret Wars, there were actually way fewer Doom variants than were supposed to be. And that was because of the Council of Reeds. The Council of Reeds was going around lobotomizing Dooms. So it says here, all beings exist in various states across the multiverse. In one reality, perhaps you were a poet. In another, a beggar. In another, a good man. You are somewhat unique in that there are less of you than there should be, a result of the calling of Dooms. Still, what few of you remain are all, to some degree, different. So Doom is somewhat unique in the multiverse, I think, not just because of there's probably not a lot of variants of him, but also if you think about a lot of the stuff we've heard about, maybe the Prime Universe, the Sacred Timeline, and what He Who Remains was doing, then it is possible He Who Remains culled a bunch of Dooms. Okay? So that is kind of interesting. And again, a lot of this does kind of tie into that Avengers Forever energy where there's just like tons of variants of characters. And the end of this movie does seem like on the Void, guys, like even if they're Doom bots, it does seem that there will be a huge fight at the end of the film where you'll have a literal army of Captain America variants, an army of Thor variants, and other multiversal Avengers, and they're all fighting against Doctor Doom and a shit ton of Doom bots. Like, that is a pretty established rumor. And so the Dooms at the end of the film could be these Dooms that Daniel first reported on. That could be what it is. It could be something else where maybe this is like Doom's Illuminati and like his variants. I don't know. But regardless, like, what a crazy story. And I also just think, like, dude, Daniel is such a shyster, man. This is not even the 12th time that he's done this. He does this. He likes to report things in such a way as to, frankly, piss off a bunch of fans like me. And here's the other thing that I'll say about this, because I know it's been sort of a contentious stream, and I apologize. I will address the chat, and we'll hang out for a little bit. I'll get on at her, and we'll have a nice one next time. But let me just say this, dude. There's this thing going on with Marvel where some of the people on like that side, like Chris Gore has talked about this, Nerderotic has talked about, other people have talked about this. They're actually reporting that Kevin is somewhat capitulating to them. Meaning, Kevin is done with the woke shit. That's what they're saying. And I've heard similar things. And the problem is, there's a ton of people like Daniel, Shine, and some of these other people, maybe even Alex, a lot of people that are very left-leaning that are not going to tell you the truth about that. Now, from where I'm standing, I can't make sense of exactly what's going on, but I'll tell you this. If there's no She-Hulk and no Captain Marvel in Doomsday, I'm going to tell you why. And it's because of this. Okay? So that's sort of an underlying part of this whole thing as well. And I know it makes people uncomfortable, but that's what's happening. I mean, guys, all I can do is tell you the fucking truth, man. The truth is I have heard the same thing. I have literally heard the same thing. So either we're all wrong or something's going on, and potentially people like Daniel are trying to report stuff in a way that makes it so that's not actually what's happening. Holy shit, maybe Oscar Isaac was right. Anyway, what are you guys thinking? Let's have a conversation about this shit. Anyway. Random is Mephisto in Spider-Man 4. I don't even think that would be random. It's literally called Brand New Day. We know why, because she told people to cancel Disney Plus. Wait, what? Oh, right. Yeah. That's actually probably true, yeah. Oh my God. Some of you guys are so wild in chat. Yo, did you talk to the MCU X-Men leak? I actually haven't even looked at it yet. I'll look at it. I will look at it. I promise. I will look at it. My name is Tom. I do hope My Office comes back, though. I really enjoy that movie more than the other ones. I do hope My Office... What? Did I miss something here, bro? Thor variants could lead to the Thor Corps in Secret Wars. Yes, I believe so. Yeah. I believe so. Yeah. Maybe the Black Swan is some We Are All Doomed kind of a thing. Yeah, it could be something like that. Yeah. It could be something like that. Look, Gold Mask seems cool, you know? Yeah, I'm not against it being a thing, like, especially if it's like, because part of me is like, dude, that's just like visually kind of cool, right? Like Doom has these weird sidekick ladies that are like magical and shit. Like that would be kind of cool. Do you think later in the film Thor would also walk down the loom like Loki did in Advanced King Interpretation? Something like that would be really cool, brother. I just don't know. It's going to depend on what their goals are with Thor. Obviously, too, it feels like it leads to a place where he's going to be dying or sacrificing himself because, you know, we've heard those rumors, but also the scene in Deadpool and Wolverine's a pretty big tease of that. So we'd have to see. Do you think Doom kills Loki? Yes. What color outfit was Charlize Theron wearing at the end of Multiverse Madness? I believe it was purple. Doom and the Doomettes. Oh my God, no! Hey, appreciate you, Justin. I hope you're doing well, brother. You think she's a part of the Black Swans? I think that's possible, and I also think that would be kind of cool. Like, that's kind of a cool thing to do. Josh can't wait for Kamala Din. Dude, It's man. It's You know that Chris Claremont has written X-Men teams that had more female members? Yeah. What a shame. I've heard about Comic Book Cast 2 and the Spider Island are in Secret Wars, and they're originally in Spider-Man Brand New Day. What? Say that again? I realize I probably phrased that wrong, but do you think we'll see Punisher shoot up the bar like in Time Runs Out? No, that's a good... You're fine on the phrasing there. I would love that, man. So what he's referring to is such a cool part of Time Runs Out. Loved this part. So, you know, it has a lot of... Do you guys remember I think it was in Dark Knight Returns, or maybe it was year one, where Batman breaks in and he says, "You've eaten well, gentlemen," or something like that. Like, it had that kind of energy. But there was a moment where all the bad guys were trying to figure out what they were going to do as the worlds were colliding. And they're like having this conversation. They're trying to figure it out. And Punisher turns the lights off, and Punisher's in there, and he's like, he says something to the effect of like, "Well, if the world's going to end, I'm going to go out doing what I love," or some shit like that. Oh, it was good, dude. Oh, it was really good. So yeah, no, that's cool. I hope that happens as well in the movie. That would be great. Okay, so Spider Island was originally in the movie, but it got cut out. That would actually track with some stuff that I heard. Yeah. Maybe that's why Annabelle is still in there as the name. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. Brutal, you mother sucker. You mother sucker! MCU-ified Black Swans? Yeah, something like that. I don't really know. It's hard to say, right? It's hard to say. Are you going to dress up for Doomsday? I don't know. I mean, I like dressing up, but I also like I really like being comfortable. You know what I mean? Like a big fan of comfort. So if I dress up and I'm uncomfortable, that... What did you say about gold masks? It could be the Black Priest. Could be the Black Priests. Yeah. It could be all of those things kind of combining. Yeah. What's kind of cool is like, look, man, I just got to say, like, look, Daniel reporting this. I mean, it feels a little like he literally just did it to upset me. You know what I mean? Fuck you, Daniel. But also, like again, I know you guys don't all love Gary, but like I kind of appreciate him coming out to say this. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking, you know? So, wartime. Terrence says, if our Thor does meet his end in the film in some unforgettable, heroic way, how do you see it happening realistically in a movie? If our Thor does, paint the picture. He would have to... Hopefully it would have purpose, right? I mean, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of like what it could look like at that moment. They're trying to stop Doom, so does he take the brunt of a certain attack to then save other characters, including his brother Loki? You know, that could be the one. You know, maybe he's like, you know, I have the power cosmic, about to fuck Loki up, and then Thor steps in front of it and takes the blast. You know, something like that. I hate to say it, but he might be onto something here. Trev might be onto something here. This is definitely purple. What if Stephen Strange is one of the other ones? What if the one with the horns is Stephen? Do you know any lore behind the new Tau units, Sun Sneer and Scatterflare, Twin Lance, I think? I miss everyone here. Been working so much lately. Thank you, Justin. Well, no, but that's... I'll tell you this. I know probably what everybody knows. So they're like the poster boys for the Tau Empire. Obviously, Commander Farsight was the poster boy, but he rebelled against the Ethereals. So they don't really like putting him on the posters anymore. So now they have... the new Captain America of the Tau, basically, and it was 3 people at one time. Then one of them gets killed by this crazy enemy, and then they take revenge against the enemy that killed their homie. So it's a dude and a dudette left, and they're like the poster boys of the Tau Empire. That's about all I know. For months, Brolin has sounded very involved in Doomsday. Maybe what Christian heard was correct at first. Maybe the Summers family is the big focus of X-Men. I mean, that'd be kind of dope. I don't know that that's real, but yeah, it'd be dope. Why was Thor crying? We got to find out, dude. We got to find out. Look at the line work. Yeah. The line work feels Eternals. Any update on Chairs 2? People are saying it's actually going to be maybe the day that Avatar comes out. Golden magic from where? Well, here's the thing about the golden magic, okay? So I think the golden magic is like the Eternals stuff. It's the stuff that made the throne at the end of Loki. It's what made his crown. It's like the Kinsigi stuff with all the gold cracks and the black marble. If you look at how the Eternals did their sort of hive mind thing at the end, it's all that gold energy. I think this is the same thing in the World Forge. Also, if you look at Deadpool and Wolverine, there's golden energy and then there's blue energy. And the blue energy is antimatter and the golden energy is matter. And so I think Marvel's really tried to delineate between like you know, light side creation energy and then like dark side destruction energy. I think that's like they've made this parallel actually a lot throughout the entire catalog. So, yeah. Wasn't Anna de Armas rumored for a role in Doomsday? She was indeed. In fact, she was rumored to be Black Swan. So if she's one of these characters, then she's Black Swan. Which, by the way, guys, this is the other thing that really pisses me off. Not to like go back to Daniel or whatever, but I'm pretty sure Daniel knows exactly what this is. Like, I'm pretty sure Daniel knows exactly what this is, and he's literally just stirring shit up. Like, he's literally just stirring shit up. Because, like, think about this, man. Like, they tried, these people, the Scooping Cabal, they tried to tell us that X-Men was going to be female-centric, okay? Then they tried to say that Doom, so they tried to say that Doom was going after Steve Rogers because he lost his family without giving us the context that his family was Reed Richards' family. Like, they're literally always trying to say it in, like, the worst possible way. Is what it feels like to me. Like, I'm sick of it, dude. Like, it's just, like, crazy. You know what I mean? So they're not Doom variants at all, just worshippers. He makes dress up as him. It's possible. It's possible that something like that is going on, yeah. It is possible, my friend. Magneto will take Thor's arm and through Rocket's arm. Wait, what? Phew, that's crazy. That'd be wild. I hope we get Doctor Strange 3. I hope we get Doctor Strange 3 as well. I mean, I could make a lot of this make more sense, which, you know, I never wanted a prequel, right? Like, when there were rumors that Spider-Man was going to be a prequel to Doomsday, I was, like, kind of upset about it. Obviously, it is now, but it's not a prequel. It's just the order of things, right? But if it was going to come out after Doomsday and yet tell a story before Doomsday, I was like, that sucks. However, and I've actually mentioned this before, but if what is going on with Doom is like, he's telling everybody this is the story, but the real story is this, and he had a Illuminati, and he was Ravam Al, and he was with the Black Priest, and he was with the Black Swans, and he was doing all this shady stuff with Doc Strange. If you then tell me that story in a prequel after Doomsday, I might actually be okay with it. Like, that could work, especially because Secret Wars will be in a completely new universe. And so there's not a ton that would be lost if we go even further back, because we still arrive at a point where everything's destroyed and then it's like a new world, right? So I actually think that could play. These leaks are getting so crazy, I don't believe shit until I'm seated in the theater 30 minutes after the credits roll. Yeah. But isn't that going to be a fun time? And also, too, we got the trailer coming up, guys. The trailer's in a month and 8 days. A month and a week, basically. The first Doomsday trailer comes out, and we're going to have so much to talk about with that. Oh, my God. I'm going to make so many videos about that. It's going to be great. So that's where we're at. Yeehaw, boys. Yeehaw. Sounds like Secret Wars is the only 2027 movie, unfortunately. Yeah. It would have been announced by now. I mean, never say never, man. Never say never. Last thing I heard, I saw on the Hot Mic podcast last Thursday, Jeff Steiner kind of hinted that they're about to get that script. And he said if they get the script and they like it, they're going to move fast. His words, not mine. His words. So I think that might still be on our menu, boys. That's what I think. Certainly wild shit is happening, dude. Woo! Woo! Anyway, guys, probably gonna get out of here soon. Maybe a shorter stream. Where are we at? How long have we been going? Oh, hour and a half? Okay, not too bad. I just have a lot I'm trying to figure out. I got to get the new setup working. Got to order the new computer. We'll be working on some editing and whatnot. Clips will post later. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to talk about. I think there was something else. Hang on. I can't really think of it. I would like to stream tomorrow night, guys. I'd like to maybe go over that 2-hour video that explains all the multiverse stuff. So kind of we get the whiteboard out, take some notes, do that kind of a stream tomorrow night. Also just kick it, hang out. And I'm working on a lot of other videos and stuff as well. Oh, here's the other thing. I'm working on a Warhammer video that's going to explain Warhammer in Marvel Comics terms. And the video is designed that if you like Marvel, this is going to get you into Warhammer, period. If you like Marvel and you watch this video, you're going to be into Warhammer. I don't know when it's going to drop. It's going to drop sometime this week. I'm telling you. You want to watch a little bit of it? Would you like to watch like the first 5 minutes of the video? Would you like to? Can I show? Because it's like a 30-something minute video. All right, let me throw it on. Let's say, hey, let's just watch a couple minutes. See how y'all feel about it. Where is it at here? 4 minutes. 4 minutes. You can handle 4 minutes. Oh, man. I really like the young man that's helping me with the edits on these. He's just got a really good sense of humor. He's cool. All right, you ready? Now, this is only 4 minutes, and it's not the final version, okay? But I'm telling you, you will get into Warhammer after this, okay? I love Warhammer, and I want to get every nerd on the planet into Warhammer. I'm also a Marvel YouTuber. I make MCU videos, and I know a lot about Marvel Comics. And so in this video, I'm going to explain Warhammer in all of its glorious badassery using Marvel Comics terms. So if you're a Marvel Comics fan that has been Warhammer curious, this is the perfect video for you. And if you're a Warhammer fan, you will probably still find this video really fun and entertaining, as you might be surprised to find out how many of the things from Warhammer are in Marvel Comics. This might end up being one of the nerdiest videos ever put onto YouTube, and I'm fucking hyped to talk to you about this stuff. Let's begin. I know, you're already hooked. Shut your mouth. I know you're already hooked. Shut up. I want to start by talking about the magic system and the fictional history of both Marvel Comics and Warhammer. Because you see, it's important to remember that both Marvel Comics and the Warhammer universe are actually just extensions of real world history. In Marvel, you find cities like New York, Hong Kong, or Washington, D.C. And this was a big concept initially pushed by Stan Lee, and it was done to make the Marvel Comics stories feel more real. Now, there are, of course, stories in Marvel Comics that take place in the distant past and in the far future, but in both cases they are an extension of real world history. And although this isn't brought up a lot, it's actually the same for Warhammer. The Warhammer universe is an extension of real world history as well. It is an actual path forward from humanity based on our history, albeit a really crazy science fiction future. And this is a really cool aspect of both franchises, because it means that our actual history is the same history that the characters in these stories and universes has experienced. At least relatively the same history, with some adjustments. And therefore, this conversation about fictional history blends into a conversation about the magic system for each IP. And it does so in a really interesting way. In Marvel Comics, things like witches, sorcerers, and demons exist, and all of these phenomenon are explained as they're just being magic in that world, and there are also just magical creatures in that world. There are also other dimensions in Marvel where beings like demons can come from, and a lot of sorcerers in Marvel Comics draw power from those different dimensions, which is important. We'll come back to that in a second. However, in Warhammer, all of those things are because of the warp. So things from humanity's history or past, like myths, witches, sorcerers, dragons, etc., are all examples of regular humans tapping into the powers of the warp. And you gotta understand the warp if you're going to understand Warhammer. The warp is the magic system of Warhammer. It's basically a parallel universe to the material universe, and it has unlimited power. And lucky for you, there are a lot of examples of this in Marvel Comics as well. Marvel comic readers will remember things like the astral plane, limbo, the mindscape, and even different demonic realms, which, as we mentioned earlier, are all different dimensions or realms that magic users and even telepaths can tap into or potentially even travel to. In Marvel Comics, all thoughts and mental willpower share a connection to an actual realm called the astral plane. Telepaths can access this endless plane and even build things there with their telepathic abilities. The mindscape is a very similar concept, but it's made up of thoughts and dreams. Even the Doctor Strange MCU movie explains the dark dimension as a realm of endless darkness and power that corrupts those that tap into it. The warp in Warhammer is very similar to that concept because mortal beings can tap into that power and are often corrupted by it. However, there's something you got to know about the warp that makes it completely different from the dark dimension. Oh, man. Oh, that's all we got? Do you want to watch more? Is that all? That's all we got? Yo, I'll show you a little bit more because I had another clip. I think that was the only one. Wait, what? That's not it. All right, peep this one. Professor X and Mr. Sinister. Dr. Doom is a technologist and a sorcerer. He uses technology to increase his magical abilities. And remember that magic in the Marvel Comics lore is just taking energy from otherworldly realms and then using that energy to produce magic in the material world. Dr. Doom also uses time travel to see possible futures for humanity. And when he does this, he realizes that humanity's best chance is in a future in which he takes control of the entire planet. Professor X is a powerful telepath, of course, and he does use his power to protect the emerging mutant population. He can read minds, implant ideas, wipe or change memories, and he can access the astral plane. Using technology like Cerebro, Charles can enhance his already crazy strong powers. He's even been able to use those powers to help bring people back to life. During the Krakoa era, the resurrection protocols are invented, and Charles's place in this system was grabbing up the minds of different mutants so that after their bodies were recreated and their souls were essentially reinserted, Charles Xavier could then take all of their memories and implant them into this new body. And he did this by having Cerebro constantly on top of his head. Mr. Sinister actually helps Professor X accomplish all of this through his crazy gene manipulation and study. Nathaniel Essex was born a human, but essentially turns himself into a mutant through study of the X gene. Mr. Sinister has the most advanced gene crafting abilities in the Marvel setting, maybe only second to Beast in some stories, but he's done incredible things like creating a Jean Grey clone that even the Phoenix Force found as a suitable host, and he's cloned a ton of other mutants, including himself, and even created combinations or chimeras of other mutants, of which the Angel and Multiple Man combo was like my favorite. That was really cool. And yeah, man, the Emperor of Mankind is literally a combination of all of those characters. He is a sorcerer with powers on the level of Dr. Doom, and he uses tech to enhance those already crazy powers. He's a telepath that can manipulate people, erase memories, get people to see him in a different way, just like Professor X. And he's an expert in gene craft, just like Mr. Sinister. And if that just makes you think that he sounds like a completely busted and bonkered, overpowered motherfucker, that's because he is. Hell yeah. So, after you guys watch that video, we'll have to have another stream where we go over the different armies again so that we can get everybody set up on whatever army they want to start. I'm really excited that we are all getting into Warhammer, and maybe sometime next year we can have some kind of a meetup where we all show off our armies, we all play some big campaign or something like that. So a lot of good things happening because Warhammer is taking over the world and we're all into it. Woo! Hell yeah! So I'm excited. C Black says, Campia said 30 plus versions of the Doomsday trailer were created for Avatar 3. Brother, what? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. 30? 30? $30, huh? That's wild. Speaking of the warp, have you answered my question regarding the warp, Slanesh, and the Eldari and the Warhammer thread? Can you answer the question? Can you put it back in here, bud? I think I saw the question, but I don't recall what it was. Team Rocket, I don't know. They're both grumpy. How about that? Sounds boring. Get him out of here. Today's video thumbnail is amazing. Oh, thanks, bud. Army/paint stream, since you have 2 cameras now. Well, the second camera gets here tomorrow, but yeah, we'll set it up, man. I also want to get the other PC set up, and then bro, once I get this new PC, we should be running smooth. I really like the video concept. I think you should do the same thing, but for Star Wars too. Yeah, if this video does well, I will do one for Star Wars. I'll do one for Lord of the Rings. I actually think it's kind of fun to like break that down from the perspective of other things to help people understand. It's also something that a lot of other Warhammer YouTubers do not do because they're specialists in Warhammer. So I was kind of like, okay, well, how do I bring my shit to the Warhammer space and provide something unique? I'm still going to do basic lore videos and we'll build out a library because I think that's just smart. But I'm also, this is like kind of, so this is something I do that they can't do. It is your fault, Adam. You know it's your fault. Byron says, hey, Josh, how's your day going? Have you been playing any Arc Raiders? Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've been playing some Arc Raiders. Yeah. Got my weapons bench up to level 3, crafting epic weapons. Yeah, I'm having a good time. You know what's funny, Cooper Brown? So Cooper Brown asks, which do you prefer, Avatar or Avatar Way of the Water? So I love both movies. It's funny because when I first saw Way of Water, I walked out and said, oh, the first movie's way better. However, after watching Way of Water a couple more times, they're really close. Like, they're both really good. I think your PC is about to go. That's the only solution is to install OBS and that'll work. Oh, okay, Adam. I see what you're doing there. Hey, real talk though, Adam. Let me ask you this. And also, are there any tech wizards in here? Before we get out of here, let me ask one more tech wizard question, okay? If there's a bottleneck of power supply, but only when the graphics card is rendering 1080p, what the fuck does that mean? And how is that possible? Way of Water was amazing. I hated the first one with a passion until the sequel. What? Really? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I liked both of them. So Slanesh always existed in the warp, right? So did she always eat up the Eldar's souls? Okay, so this is, yeah, Shub, totally. Here's what it is. And this is like deep, deep Warhammer lore. This is like really deep shit. But the warp doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay? So there's no time in the warp, or time doesn't exist like the way that it does here. And yet things still do happen chronologically. So for the sake of the story, like there's I was almost about to say there's like some spoilers that are like really interesting in the lore where in the very first, this is potentially really spoilery, but there's some characters that pop up in the first couple of Horus Heresy books that are literally revealed later on to be actual characters that become demons in the future. So the warp in Warhammer like makes sense, but it also kind of doesn't make sense. If you're being honest, like if you really understand the Warhammer lore, you would have to concede that it doesn't really make sense. But that's because it's a dimension of like unlimited power and potential. It doesn't actually need to make sense within the magic system. It can actually have a little wiggle room. It's like Gandalf's magic, right? Like in Tolkien, it's like, okay, so what can Gandalf do? The answer, anything the story requires. And it's the same thing with the warp. There's an issue with your CPU talking with your GPU. So when they were building that little Tower of Babel, I shouldn't have smashed it down. Is that what you're saying? Yes, Maximus. It's coming out on the Warhammer channel. It'll either drop tomorrow or maybe later in the week. It just depends. I was editing it yesterday, but it still needs a lot of work. It means your card draws a lot of power and your PC hits a wall with the power. But here's the thing. There's no bottleneck on 4K. Like, this is the part that's weird. There's no bottleneck on power when it's rendering 4K, only when it's doing 1080p, which doesn't make any sense. But that could technically explain, like, do you remember Friday when I flipped it back to 1080p and we had all those problems? Does that make sense? Different compression codec for 1080p. Okay. You're asking for power. It doesn't have to add. Well, why does it need more power for a lower resolution? I don't understand that. Is it possible Marvel could be teasing the future of the MCU through Battleworld and Secret Wars and beyond? Sure, yeah. I mean, it's a little too early to even speculate on that, but yeah. Started watching that show Dark you were talking about. Shit is wild. It is wild. Yeah, it is really wild. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just gotta tinker. I mean, that's why I'm getting the new PC. I'm just so sick of it, dude. I'm so sick of it. I'm gonna get a new PC. I'm gonna get a Range Rover, and then I'm gonna put the old PC in the Range Rover and drive it off a fucking cliff and dive out in an air parachute like fucking Tom Cruise, because I don't give a fuck. So, seen Pluribus yet? Yeah, Pluribus is dope, dude. Pluribus is dope. I'm trying to get my wife on that, because I think that could be like our new show. Oh, Pluribus is good. Pluribus real good. Oh, Mortarian? Really interesting. I'm an author of 17 novels. Would you ever collab on a graphic novel? I can send you one we did. 45 pages, but the art is incredible. Yeah, hit me up, man. Hit me up. I have some coals, or what would you say? Irons in the fire. I'm working on shit. I'm busy, but maybe eventually, yeah. Vince Gilligan is a genius. Yeah, he really is. The show is so smart, dude. The show's so smart. I'm actually kind of shocked. The camera native... Whoa! Andrew figured it out. I think Andrew's right. So Andrew says, is the camera native resolution recording in 4K more processing needed to translate 1080p on the back end? That's what it is. The downsizing. So downscaling to 1080p is probably what's fucking it up. Yeah. Interesting, Andrew. Yeah. So I would have thought maybe not. I would have thought that would be fine. But yeah, you might be right. That's quite interesting. All right, I'm going to tinker with it. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you. What time tomorrow night? Let's plan for... I don't know. What time should we go? What's good for you guys? Like 6 or whatever? When do you guys want to... Like, when do you want Papa Josh to flip on the stream? What would be good for you? 6 ET? James, I think I can. Yeah, I think I can. 7? What's tomorrow? Tuesday, brother. The morning? Dude, I said I wanted to go at night. 7? Maybe 7. Let's do 7. Let's plan on 7. Only in death does duty end. Super annoying, but I've heard of it happening before. Yeah, so what happened was the camera got knocked down. And there was a power surge. It fried the USB port, and then it appears to have surged the computer as well. So we're dealing with some issues. I actually never thought that something like that. Like, I never thought you'd drop your camera, and like you'd have some serious issues because of a power surge. It's a little. I don't know. I didn't think that could be a thing. Josh will stick my old ass in a dreadnought. Yeah, but it would be like who's the people that put people in dreadnoughts when they're not like totally fucked? Is it the salamanders or something? I forget. One of them like is more chill about it. All right, everybody. I really appreciate you guys. Much love, man. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Clips will release later. I got a lot of stuff I'm working on, man. That's partially why I want to stream tomorrow night. So we'll do it tomorrow night, okay? All right, everybody. Much love, man. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Speaker rating of mergers. Is there any studio that hasn't tapped into the woke zeitgeist? Why bother selling? Oh, these studios are not committed to any ideology. That's why I refer to Disney as a whore. They're willing to bend over for any party that has money, power, influence. They have to grapple with that. And they can't control the narrative via the internet anymore. So, yeah. Anyways. Hope y'all had a good time. Hope it was a nice dream. Appreciate you. Get out there, play some Mark Raiders, man. That shit is wild. I'm gonna go take the range for a ride. You know what I mean? Fuck them. Do me a favor, though. Open up your third eye and wash out your stinky butt.